All right, welcome on in, guys. Today we are breaking down part 3 of Not All Diamonds and Rosé. It is called Just Peachy, which is the story of Real Housewives of Atlanta. For anybody that's new, welcome on into book club. It's Bravo Book Club. Every week we break down new chapters from whatever book it is that we're reading. This week it happens to be Not All Diamonds and Rosé, part 3, the story Just Peachy, the story behind Atlanta. Next week we'll be breaking down Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think it's called Flipping the Table. So next Tuesday, we go live every Tuesday night on Instagram, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. So get ready. So tonight we're doing Just Peachy, the story of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'll break it all down and recap it for you guys. We'll do fun quiz time at the end, and we'll wrap for the night. All right. Are you ready? All you sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me. Ooh, Kevin G. Okay. So, Real Housewives of Atlanta originally started as the Ladies of Hotlanta. Ooh, Hotlanta. Ooh, baby. The Ladies of Hotlanta, and it was started by a woman named Princess Banton Lofters. And she came in and she's like, hold up, wait a minute. Oh, your hair looks amazing. Thanks, boo. Thanks, love. She said that she had a show and it was called Ladies of Hotlanta. And she was like, I have this great show, and I have this breakout star, and this breakout star is Nene because she has this huge personality, and you guys are going to love Nene Leakes because she just says whatever's on her mind. Even though Sheree happens to shade Nene a lot throughout the whole book. Sheree's like in the entire chapter and has a lot to say, but it's mainly because a lot of the other women women of Atlanta refuse to participate in the book, which I thought was strange. Like a lot of that, like even some of like the current cast members, like Portia didn't even interview for the book, and they've been interviewing them for like a while, not even with this recent departure that Portia left the show. But anyway, I digress. So Sheree was just like, I don't even know why they like Nene so much. Like Nene doesn't even live behind the gates, and that was the whole concept. Similar to like OC, where they wanted to take us behind the gates of Kodo. Here they wanted to take us behind the gates in Atlanta, and she was like, Nene's apartment isn't even behind the gates. And Nene then went and rallied in Deshawn, who was also in the first season, and she brought in Kim Zolciak because she's like, Kim's a crazy white girl, and Kim's crazy, and I love her. And apparently Kim and Nene have lots of history together, but at the time of filming, Kim and Nene were not friends, and they fought because apparently in the past, Kim had like a sugar daddy, and the sugar daddy like put her up in his house, and then when she broke up with her sugar daddy, Nene swooped in, even though she was friends with Kim, and Nene swooped in and was like, hold up, wait a minute, Big Papa OG number 1, I'm going to sell this house for you, even though Kim Zolciak is my friend. And then Kim Zolciak is like, bitch, you're not going to take my Big Papa's house, original Big Papa, not the Big Papa we knew on the show, but a different Big Papa. Kim wasn't happy about that, and Kim and Nene had a big falling out until cameras were rolling. And then that's when Nene and Kim were all friends again, but not Nene and Sheree. Nene and Sheree did not get along. And Sheree was like, well, that's stupid because Nene and Kim weren't even actually friends, and they were just playing it up for the camera. And that's when we see that Nene was rejected from Sheree's birthday party, which Sheree's like, well, guess what? I made great TV. How about that? She's like, Nene, I don't want somebody in my house that's going to bring negative energy. And clearly by Nene's behavior when she showed up, it was just nothing but negative energy. So Sheree has no regrets about not having Nene on the list. Even though she's kind of like, well, I don't know how Nene didn't end up on the list. But then she's also kind of like, but I didn't want Nene in my house anyway. I was like, oof, the shade. Nene wasn't interviewed in the book. Neither was Kim or Lisa Wu. I don't even know why we're talking about Lisa Wu. Deshawn's interviewed in the book. Andy Cohen's interviewed in the book. Sheree's interviewed in the book. And then Carlos is interviewed in the book. And Carlos comes up a lot. Carlos had a lot to say. He was one of the producers, Carlos King. He had a lot to say in his interviews as well. Deshawn was like there, but it's like, does anybody really care about Deshawn? Does anybody really remember Deshawn? I'm drinking some Who Gon' Check Me Boo, nofilterwine.com. So yummy. Okay. Then we get to the end of season 1, and Andy brings up the first Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, which at first Andy was like, it hadn't even been greenlit. We weren't even sure if we were gonna do a reunion. And Nene's like, well, I'm the one that brought us in, that brought up the reunion. I take full credit for the reunion. This is according to Andy, because like I said, Nene wasn't interviewed in the book, but according to Andy, Nene claims that she's the one. Yes, no filter wine, Griffin. That's right, no filter wine. Hi, Zack Pack. What's going on, my life Eastons? Where was I? Nene takes credit for the first Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion because she called up Andy Cohen and she was just like, hey, we need to do this because I need to confront this Kim girl, because Kim was one person on camera, and then in her confessionals, Kim was like this crazy chick, and I need to confront her at the reunion, and this is going to be great TV. And Andy's like, okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. And he's like, I know Nene loves to say that she created the concept of the reunion, but we had already done OC, we had already done New York, I had already hosted a reunion for OC and for New York, so this wasn't anything new to Atlanta. But the first Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion was the highest rated, and it brought in 3 million viewers. 3 million, not 1 million, not 2 million, 3 million viewers. I don't even think Housewives shows get that many, like, now. But first Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, it brought it. And then one of the big major executives at Bravo like emailed Andy, and they're like, wow, congratulations, Andy Cohen. That killed it. It was their biggest hit, Atlanta, and Nene was their biggest star, and they kept bragging about how, oh my God, Nene was not only the biggest star when we started the show, but now she's like the biggest personality, and everybody loves her, and ooh, Nene. And Carlos King, who is Nene's producer, Carlos is like, she's 100% real. And Sheree's like, that's 100% false. She's 100% playing an act because she was so desperate for fame. I'm like, damn, Sheree was really coming at it. Then we get into season 2, and we get rid of Deshaun, because who really needed Deshaun? Deshaun was boring, and even in the book, Deshaun's like, I know I was boring. I watched back my scenes, and like I was falling asleep, and I was like, well... And we introduced Kandi Burruss. And Kandi Burruss was apparently like a big deal because she was a big singer and songwriter, and she wrote like No Scrubs. No scrubs. I don't want no scrubs. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on his passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. That was Kandi. And in addition to No Scrubs, Kandi also brought us the magic that was, don't be tardy for the party. Don't be tardy for the party. And she helped, and everyone in the book is like, we didn't think that song was going to be great. We didn't think that song was going to be anything good. But thanks to Kandi made it a bop. And we all love it. But then there was this big issue and this dispute over royalties from the song, which ultimately ended their friendship, Kandi and Kim, because Kim was just like, you should be getting a writer's royalty. And then Candy's like, no way, Jose. When we did our little handshake Joe Gorga deal, you told me that we were going to be splitting the proceeds 50-50. And Kim's like, no way, Jose. I'm a star. And then, of course, we have the iconic, who gon' check me, boo? Who gon' check me, boo? Who gon' check me, boo? With the party planner, which was great, and it was iconic, and apparently it was a lot worse where they cut it from the show, but the party planner was like getting up, he's like, bitch, I'ma slap you. And then Sheree was like, oh, really? I wish you would slap me. And then he's like, you need to be checked. And then she's like, who gon' check me, boo? Who gon' check me, boo? Iconic. And then there was ongoing drama between Nene and Kim, and Nene apparently tried to choke Kim out in like a Target parking lot, and we didn't get to see that on camera, but it was off camera because the producers were inside like setting up to film, and then they had to address it on camera. But Nene like came for Kim, and she like tried to choke her out. I was like, oof, okay. And then apparently, like, they would always fight. They didn't even need the cameras there to fight. They went on Ryan Seacrest's morning show, which I believe was on Kiss FM, and they fought on Ryan Seacrest's show. Ryan Seacrest is like, hey, guys, we're doing Ryan's Roses today. And then Nene and Kim were like, well, screw Ryan's Roses. I'm going to beat Kim's ass, wig. And then Kim was like, oh, hell no. Where's Croy? Where's Big Papa? Croy's not in the picture yet, but where's Big Papa? Who's apparently like a really little man. And apparently Big Papa is not very big at all. He's a very teeny tiny man. Everybody says was a lot smaller than they were expecting. So there's that. And they also got in a fight on Watch What Happens Live because I think it was Kim that was on the show and then Nene called in and then they got into that whole fight and that was a drama. And then they fired Lisa Wu. But like Lisa was barely mentioned in the book other than Lisa Wu was on the cast, and then Lisa Wu was fired. So there's nothing exciting or interesting to say about Lisa Wu. And then we brought in Cynthia Bailey and Phaedra Parks. Kelly Park, Phaedra Sparks, booty, booty, booty. Kelly Park, Phaedra Parks, booty, 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 rocking everywhere, rocking everywhere, rocking everywhere. I found you, Miss Phaedra Parks. And then we start off with Cynthia getting ready for her wedding, and she couldn't afford to pay her wedding, and she was like really sad about it. And then the party planner was like, "It's okay, you don't have to pay for your wedding because I'm gonna give you the wedding that you deserve, girl." Because they were like trying to cut back on drinks at the bar, and then the party planner's like, "You know what? I'm gonna give you your dream wedding, and then you just pay me back when you have the money, girl, because you're on TV now, and you'll probably afford it a lot sooner." And then Cynthia Bailey was like, "Oh my god, that was the happiest day of my life when I was finally able to pay him back." And then we see who was it? Cynthia, who was friends with Nene, and then she brought in the friend contract where she's like, "Here's our contract to be friends," and Nene was like, "What the fuck is this?" And everyone else was watching and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And now I'm just like, you know what? I need to start having friend contracts for my friends. And she said that she couldn't be friends with Kim because Nene wouldn't allow her to be friends with Kim, and Nene was very territorial. And then we introduced Marlo. And congrats to Marlo because Marlo finally got her peach, and it took her, 15 seasons? Anyway. Then we intro Marlo, and Marlo was really bad at playing the game for so long, which is why she didn't get her peach. She was always starting fights, and she didn't have a strong character arc, and she says that her family was way too love and hip-hop and not enough Real Housewives, and she says that's why she didn't get a peach. But now, obviously, maybe her family upgraded from love and hip-hop, and maybe now they are more Housewives material because now she got her peach. And then we had the big Nene versus Sheree beef, which ultimately led to Sheree's exit, which brought in Portia and Kenya, who are a feisty duo coming into the mix. Kim, however, was apparently the biggest diva, and she quit in season 5, and because she wasn't connected to any of the cast members anymore, and she wasn't very professional, and she didn't want to film to scenes, and they're all like, yeah. Kim didn't want to film, and then she would eat McDonald's, and I'm like, well, I mean, first of all, there are a lot of things wrong with eating McDonald's, but like, why is that so bad? And like, because you're not supposed to eat McDonald's on the show, and the producers would be like, "Kim, can you please not eat McDonald's right now?" And Kim was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna eat McDonald's right now," and then she would go and eat her Big Mac, and I'm just like, wow. If that's what makes her a diva. Jill was being a diva behind the scenes when she was doing her vanity or variety photo shoot on Real Housewives of New York, but here Kim's being a diva eating her McDonald's on camera. She also didn't want to show up to any of the cast events. Like, she was over it. She was over it. She didn't want anything to do with them. It just wasn't a fit. And they're like, all right, Kim, you need to go. And then once Kim exited, the beef was between Kenya and Portia, and we got Kenya's Gone with the Wind, fabulous. I'm fabulous. Twirl, twirl, Gone with the Wind, fabulous. And we got that whole moment. Portia doesn't give us her side because she didn't want to be interviewed for the book, but Kenya was not going to turn down the opportunity to get interviewed for the book, and she shades everybody in it. But Kenya says that she never sought out to be the villain, that she's actually a really good, quiet girl, and she was always very professional on set prior to joining Housewives, and she would show up and she would behave, and she was very, she was just like a great delight to work with. And I'm like, wow, I don't think anybody would have ever guessed that. That's definitely not what we got on camera. She was also dubbed as the first housewife to bring a prop to a reunion. As we know, she brought the bullhorn and the scepter. So yeah, she definitely knew how to bring it. Apparently, she wanted to show Nene that there's a new queen in town. So that's why she was like, I'm coming in, and I'm coming in hard. And I'm going to let Nene know that I'm the new bitch in charge. And then Portia dragged her at the reunion. And they're all like, oh my God, that was the darkest day in the show's history, and that was horrible, and that was terrible, and we feel so bad, and that's why we don't do flashbacks back to that scene anymore, because it was traumatizing for everybody. And like, it was very traumatizing. When you actually watch it, it's like not great. But apparently Portia, when she was on the floor, she was like screaming. She's like, I quit, I can't do it, I quit. And then Kenya was yelling from the background. She's like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Clip, you're fired, you're fired. And Portia and Nene was like, Portia, calm down, be quiet. And then ultimately they sent Portia home because they're like, you know what? You're just not in the right headspace. You have a lot going on, clearly. And like, we need you to take a beat. And then apparently most people think that Portia was demoted the next season because of the fight, but the producers are like, no, that's actually not true. It's not because of the fight. What really happened was that she just didn't have a strong enough storyline. Like, the fight had nothing to do with it. We brought her back regardless because we knew she was just having like a bad day, because when you have a bad day, you just drag people across the stage all the time. And so we're like giving her a pass, but her storyline just didn't organically like come together on the show, and it was just a hot mess express. So she wasn't demoted because of the fight. She was demoted because she didn't have a strong enough storyline. And producers are like, yeah, she wasn't giving us her all. She wasn't giving us her everything like she normally would give us. She got a full-time contract going into the season, but she lost it and was demoted. And therefore, as a result of her being demoted, this brought in Claudia Jordan, and Claudia was originally supposed to be a friend, and then we had Demetria McKinney, who was supposed to be full-time. And Demetria is like a hot producer, and she's married to this hot producer, and she's just like a bad bitch, and they're like, okay, Claudia will be a friend because Claudia's moving to Atlanta, but we really want to give the peach to Demetria. And Demetria was supposed to be full-time. But after Claudia and Nene had it on camera, Nene went up to the producers and she's like, you got the wrong bitch. You need to ditch Demetria and you need to bring in Claudia because Claudia is worth your time and Demetria is not. And so at the end of the season, they try to cram in like a lot of stuff to like give Claudia a storyline, but obviously they really couldn't make it work because there was only like so many weeks left of filming, and so she and Nene both ended up leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta because Nene was like, I'm on Glee, and not only am I on Glee, but now I got my own show, and I'm going to be on the new normal, and fuck y'all bitches, I'm going to be a star. I'm going off to Hollywood, and I'm the baddest bitch of them all. But apparently, like, she gave the crown to Kenya, and it's like, Kenya, you can have it now, and she was going to go off and film the new normal. Because that was going to be her new normal. She was going to do reality TV anymore. She was going to be a Hollywood actress. And a lot of the producers were worried that Real Housewives of Atlanta couldn't last without Nene because now she was becoming an actress, and we introduced Kim Fields. And Kim Fields, they're all like, Kim Fields didn't get it. She didn't understand the assignment. She didn't know reality TV. She didn't know how reality TV works. She was really bad at reality TV. Like, she would get in a fight, and then she'd be like, I need to call Andy Cohen. And they're like, you can't call Andy Cohen. You're on camera right now. She's like, why can't I call Andy Cohen? You want to film my reality. My reality is I'm going to call Andy Cohen. And they're like, you can't do that because Andy Cohen doesn't exist in this land. Like, you're in Real Housewives land, and Andy Cohen only exists to host the reunion. That's the only time you can talk to Andy. And she's like, well, that's not reality. And they're like, okay, well, you clearly don't get this. So then they brought back Sheree, and immediately Kenya I think there's like a party or there's something going on. So I think the biker people are here. I don't know if you can hear them, but I think they're tracing through. I was like, is there a mob fight going on outside? What's happening? Is it Portia and Kenya out there? So yeah, Sheree comes back and Kenya's like, I'm coming for this, bitch. I'm coming for you. You ever call me a liar again? I'm coming for you. But the biggest drama came from Kandi and Portia and Phaedra, because apparently Phaedra told Portia that Kandi tried to drug and rape her. And then at the reunion, Phaedra was like, oh no, I actually heard it from Carlos King. He's the one behind the rumors. And they were like, no way, Jose. Or sorry, Portia was like, no way, Jose, you told me that you heard it from Candy's mouth directly. And she's like, no, I didn't. I heard it from Carlos. And Carlos was pissed because Carlos had just left the show to go. He had his own production company and he was doing his own thing. And he was just like, oh my God, now it's going to look like I got fired from Bravo because I said this rumor that I had Phaedra bring up on the show about Kandi trying to drug and rape Portia, and that's a lie. And he was really mad about it because he had just left the network, and now it looked like, this is the reason that he had been let go and been fired, and he thought his career was over. And Phaedra wouldn't apologize for it, which ultimately led to her firing, and Kandi refused to do the show with her. Candy's like, I was not going to do the show with her, and I will never do the show with her, and I'm done. I'm done. And then we get into season 10. And in season 10, we bring back Kim and we bring back Nene. Kim came back in like a friend of capacity, and then Nene came back full time, and we had Sheree. And this was where we had the roaches. And Kim's a racist, and it was that whole season. And, you know, because Brielle was like in the bathroom and she's like, oh my God, there's a roach. And then Kim brought up the roaches, and then Nene's like, you're racist. And then Kim's like, I'm not racist. You guys are awful. I'm the only white person on this show. And now I feel prejudiced against. And Sheree really went to bat for Kim because Sheree's like, Kim's not a bad girl. You guys just aren't that nice to her. But that was the end of Kim's Housewives career and the end of Sheree's. But apparently Croy, who's Kim's hubby, he went off on Andy Cohen behind the scenes, and he was like, you know, you don't have Kim's back and you're not looking out for her. And it was apparently the worst that Andy's ever been told off by a house husband. And he was telling him like, you should have had Kim's back and you're going to get your reckoning. Your reckoning is going to come because you're so awful to these housewives. And apparently Corey also brought a gun with him to the reunion, which was even more wild because apparently in Atlanta, I keep saying apparently, sorry. In Georgia, you're allowed to. There's an open carry law where you're allowed to carry a gun, but the producers are like, you cannot bring the gun on set. You have to leave it in your car. Like, that's not okay. And Andy was just like, whoa, that's like really crazy. I can't believe Corey even brought a gun to the set. And Corey's like, Andy, I'm going to pop off. And Sheree, for the next season, was offered a friend role, but she declined, and she left the show again because she's like, ugh, I'm not going to be a friend role. I've already proven myself to you guys. Don't even try to play me like that. Like, I'm a bad bitch, and I don't need to be a friend of. Also, Kenya Moore ended up leaving the show as well, or they took a break from Kenya. They put her on pause. They put her on ice for a minute because they were upset about her getting married off camera right before filming, and so they were just pissed at her, which opened up a spot for Eva Marcille, who was one and done. Well, not necessarily one and done. Like, she was there for half of a season and then full-time for a season. But, I mean, it's technically a one and done. And does anybody really miss Eva? No. Also, Shimari Devoe, who also only lasted one season and was also very anticlimactic. And this was also the start of the fall of Nene, as everybody started to describe it. You know, she had everything going on with Greg being sick, and they said that her ego was really getting in her way, and she kept shooting herself in the foot. And then she had the whole scene where she was like, get out of my closet, and she grabbed the producer and she threw him down. You know, like she was a professional fighter, and people were like, wow, Nene is just like not herself anymore. She doesn't love doing this anymore. Her ego's too big, and it's just not cool. And she left the network, and she made all these accusations against the network, and she called them racist and said that they were discriminatory against her. And then all the other women came out, and Kenya was like, she only did that because she was mad that she didn't get all the spinoffs that Kandi got. Kandi was getting all these spinoffs, and Nene didn't get any of them, and she was just jealous that the network clearly must like Kandi better because they keep giving Kandi all these shows, and Nene only got like a wedding special, but other than that, Nene's not getting her own show. And Sheree says that Nene tried to get everyone fired if they were against her, calling her the only black girl trying to sabotage all the other black girls on the show. And so Sheree's like, I don't know how she can even make that accusation because she was the only one that didn't support other women. And then Claudia Jordan floats back up, and she accused Nene of trying to hijack the Black Lives Matter movement with all her allegations. And she's like, "Don't come in here and try to hijack the movement just because you're salty and you're mad and your ego's bruised." And then Kandi comes out, and she reminds us that Nene was not only the highest paid black woman on the show, or claims that she's the highest paid. We don't know if it's actually Nene or if it's Kandi, but Nene claims that she's the highest paid on the show. But Kandi reminds us that it's not just Atlanta, but Atlanta is the most successful show within the franchise, and Nene's rumored to be the highest paid housewife within the franchise. So she's like, so how do you accuse them of being racist when you literally were the highest paid cast and you're very well up there? But they all rave about their experience on the show, and they said that it was amazing, and there's no fame like Housewives fame. And then Sheree was like, I didn't even think it was going to go past Atlanta at all. I thought we had OC, we had New York, and Atlanta would be the last one, and we would be done. 0, 0, 0, done. Alicia, I do believe they've tried to do they've tried to do a Chicago Housewives, but they said they never got it right. Like the cast they never found the right cast. It never worked out, but they've tried. And that is the end of the recap. I have to say, part one, was actually pretty good. Part 1 was OC. Part 2 was New York. Part 2 was probably the juiciest so far. Part 3 was a little boring. And I think it was mainly boring because a lot of the women didn't do interviews for it. You know, I think if Kim Zolciak had done an interview, if Nene had done an interview, if Portia had done an interview, it would have really changed things. Like, who did we get? We got Eva to do an interview. We got Claudia Jordan to do an interview. I'm glad we got Kenya. Sheree carried this whole chapter. Sheree was probably the best. Carlos King was also pretty great at what he delivered as well. But other than that, like, it really kind of lacked the good, juicy moments that we really needed. Yeah, we needed a Kim Zolciak, or at least one of them, at least Kim or Nene, only because a lot of them commented on Kim and Nene and things that they thought or remember Nene or Kim saying, but none of them were actually Nene or Kim. Or Portia. Portia, I think, would have been another great addition. Phaedra would have been a great addition to interview as well, but they all turned it down. So I think so many housewives left out on this part. I agree. But it seems like, well, I mean, I guess in the New York chapter, we didn't have Bethany, we didn't have Alex McCord, but we still had Jill Zarin, we still had Dorinda, we had Ramona, we had Luann briefly, we had Sonia, we had Leah. So we had a lot of good power players. We had Carol and Heather. So we had a lot of the strong power players. In this one, we didn't have a lot of the strong power players. So this chapter, I have to say, this was probably the most boring chapter. And I hope I don't get called racist for saying that, because everyone, you know, likes to take things out of context. But I just thought it didn't have that much. We had Candy. She gave some interviews, but like Candy isn't that juicy in her interviews, you know? If anything, Sheree really delivered. Other than Sheree, like Sheree carried the entire chapter. And he doesn't want Nene back after what she said about him. Yeah, that was rough. Is Portia still on? Portia has left the show now. She won't be on this upcoming season. What's up with Andy and Bethany? I think the housewives get like this OG-itis, this like ego, you know, beefed up ego that really comes back to bite them in the butt. Thank you, Hawkberry Hill. Thank you, Gossip in a Glass, for the 3 badges. Thank you, Chrissy37X, for the 3 badges. Ooh, LV Nights Girl coming on in. LV Nights Girl is always here every book club. Not only did she drop 3 stars, but she dropped an additional 2 stars. Thank you, LV Nights Girl. Boom, boom, boom. I love it. I love it. I love it. What are you guys thinking of Not All Diamonds and Rosé? And are you ready for quiz time? Are you ready? All you sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me. Ooh, Kevin G. Are we ready for quiz time? Do you guys have your notes ready? Do you have your handy dandy notebooks? Andy had no room for Nene to come back. Hi, Zack. How do you feel? A little bit better, but my tailbone is still really hurting me a lot. And after talking to my doctor today, she's like, yeah, tailbones take forever to heal. There's really not much you can do. Zack, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're glowing. Thank you. That's very sweet. I have the ring light turned all the way up tonight, and all the lights in the house are on. Okay. Are we ready for quiz time? Does everybody have their notes ready? Let's see. Tonight we have 14 questions. Oof. Fajitas. Thank you, Shelly Girl, for the 3 badges. And thank you, Critty Trina, for the 3 badges. Critty, love you. You're always popping on in. Shelly Girl, what's going on? Thank you guys for the badges. You guys are so sweet tonight. Love you. So appreciate you. Okay. If we're ready, then let's get to it. I know that we can do it. Question number 1. What was Real Housewives of Atlanta originally titled? What was the original title? Remember, Princess started it. What did she originally name Real Housewives of Atlanta before it became a Housewives show? What was the name? Gossip in a Glass got it. That is correct. Ladies of Hotlanta. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. Gossip in a Glass. I'm still worried about the coccyx, but I'm glad you finally went to the doctor. Did she give you painkillers or an anti-inflammatory? She did not give me. I got a really, really strong ibuprofen and some arnica, and I did my heating pad and all that stuff. She told me all the things to do, so I'm doing it. Thank you guys for checking in. She says that like even with the pain, like it's not recommended to take painkillers because then what happens is when you take the painkillers, you still end up putting pressure on it and it takes longer for it to heal. So I have the strong ibuprofen if I really need it, but it's not like an actual painkiller because we want it to actually heal. And we want to make sure that I'm mindful of when it heals. Yes, I do sleep, not with BioFreeze, but with the CBD version of it. Okay, question number 2. Who was the biggest standout star in the first season of Ladies of Hotlanta? Thank you, guys. Who was the biggest breakout star? That's right. Jay Jana loves you. Jay Jana loves you. That is correct. It was Nene Leakes. That's right. I know that's right. It wasn't Kim. Well, maybe it was Kim, but they didn't say that it was Kim. Okay, question number 3. How many views did the first Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion rack in? How many views did the first reunion for Real Housewives of Atlanta rack in? You need to buy a coccyx cushion, I know. Jay Jana, there we go, Jay Jana. That is correct. It was 3 million. Jay Jana loves you. Scored a second point. Yes, Storm Davis, you got it. Yennefer, you got it. Chrissy, you got it. Priscilla, you got it. Lexi, Eve, you got it. But unfortunately, fortunately for Jay Jana, she got the point because she was the first person to answer. Question number 4. What was the name of... Oh, this is an easy one. What was the name of Kim Zolciak's song? Gotta come here sober so I can win. That's right. Do quiz time sober and then get fucked up afterwards. Responsibly, Instagram. Responsibly. We don't ship internationally. So, merch will ship internationally. Wine, however, does not ship internationally. God, I have like acid reflux today. What is going on? Don't be tired. Yep, that's right. Who's the first person to answer it? Storm Doris. Yes, Storm. I love you climbing up this chart. You always get the answers right, but you aren't always the first to answer. And now here you are coming on up. Faster than Jay Jana. That is correct. Kim Zolciak's song was Don't Be Tardy. Question number 5. What was Kim's boyfriend's name on the show? When she joined the show, she had a boyfriend. What did she call him? We don't need his real name, but what did she call him on the show? Boom. I love the name Storm too, you guys. Big Papa, that's right, Storm. Storm Doris coming in with 2 points. Wow. So Gossip and Glass has 1 point. Jana has 2 points. Storm has 2 points. Dun, dun, dun. Papa Big. Oh, it was not Papa Big. It was Big Papa. Big Papa. Okay. Next question. Which 2 housewives fought on Ryan Seacrest's morning radio show? Which 2 housewives fought on Ryan Seacrest's morning radio show? I wonder if he had a big D. I don't think he did because he was a very, very tiny man. So I don't think Big Papa had a big D. Nene and Kim, that's right. Wow, Storm is in it to win it, Storm. Wow, Storm is now currently in the lead. Storm came to play. Storm's like, no way, Jose. I came in and I'm in it to win it. Okay, this one's a little more challenging. Whose spot did Claudia Jordan end up stealing? Remember, she came in with another housewife, and Nene was like, you got the wrong bitch. You need to hire Claudia Jordan. Who was the wrong bitch? Who was the wrong bitch? Demetria. Damn, Storm Doris. You are slaying it tonight. Storm Doris. Wow, Storm Doris has 4 points. That is correct. It was Demetria McKinney. Oh, I actually just gave this answer away by accident. But who helped cast Claudia Jordan? Which housewife was it that helped cast Claudia Jordan? Why am I getting acid reflux? I've never had acid reflux in my life. I'm getting old. Nene, yes. Wow, Storm is just like lightning tonight. It is a lightning storm that we got tonight. That is correct. It was Nene Leakes. Okay. Question number 9. What was the name of the TV show Nene left Housewives to go film? It was a scripted show. Maybe it's the ibuprofen. You're right, Shelly. I think since I've had to take it a lot, and now I have the fizzy alcohol, it may be the combo of the two that's like, oh. That's why I don't like to take Oh, that's right, Storm, the new normal. Damn. Storm, do you have notes that you took throughout this, or are you just going solely based off of memory? It was not Glee. It was the new normal. She was filming Glee, but she was filming Glee consecutively with Having Apples, Zack for the acid reflux. Or jicama. Oh my God, I just got my shipment from the farm of apples. Smart. Thank you, Log Cabin Girl. I'm from Atlanta. All right, Storm. So you came to represent. You're like me. If I were in the comments and I were representing Beverly Hills, I would be you. Okay. The new normal was correct. Question number 10. What did Kenya yell at Portia after their reunion altercation? Portia was on the floor and she was crying, and then Kenya was yelling what at her? What was Kenya yelling at Portia from the sidelines after their fight? You're fired. Yup. Damn. Storm came to play today. I feel like we should just give Storm the crown. Storm has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. You're fired. Yes. You're fired. You're fired. Gone with the wind, fabulous. Gone with the wind, fabulous. Who told Portia Kandi tried to drug her? Question number 11. Who told Portia Kandi tried to drug her? Gone with the wind, fabulous. Phaedra. Yes, Storm. I feel like, is everyone giving up at this point? Storm's like, I'm in it to win it. I'm here to... Storm's not even giving anybody a chance to score a point. Storm is just like, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Who did Phaedra blame for telling her, though? So we know Phaedra was the one that told Portia, but then when it fell back onto Phaedra, who did Phaedra then blame for telling her? Dun, dun, dun. This is question number 12. Who did Phaedra blame for telling her that Kandi tried to drug and rape Phaedra? I'm not, but my answers never come up first. I got screenshots. Oh. Carlos King. Wow, My Life Easton's got it. Storm's like, I'm going to give y'all a chance. Okay, My Life Easton's. My Life. That is correct. It was Carlos King. He's not the one that revealed it, but he's the one that was accused of revealing it. 2 questions left. Question number 13. You know this one, guys. Who brought a gun to the reunion? Who brought the gun to the reunion? Who brought the gun to the reunion? Croy. That's right. Not Corey. Not Kioi. Croy. Let's see. What is this name? Keelan Salazar? Keelan Salazar. Yes, that's a new name that we're bringing into the mix. That's right. Toy. I love it. Yes, that is correct. It was Croy. Croy brought the gun to the reunion. He's like, Andy Cohen, pop, pop, pop. You be nice to Kim Zolciak. Last question. Why does Kenya claim Nene trashed the network on her way out? Final question. Why does Kenya claim Nene trashed the network on her way out? What does Kenya think is the reason that she trashed them when she left after her final season? That's right, Jay Jana, no spinoffs. I mean, technically it was that she was upset. Yes, it was racism. Or no, that's what Nene claims. Kenya claims that Nene left because Candy was getting all the spinoffs and not Nene. Yes, she was salty about no spinoffs. That's correct. It goes to Jay Jana because she was the first person to answer with that. Let's see. So Jay Jana got 1, 2, 3 points. Killy Salazar got 1 point. Gossip and Glass got 1 point. And then the killer of the night, the sniper from the side, Storm Doris got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 14 points. That's more than half of them. Storm Doris came to kill. Okay, Storm Doris. Do you want a Liddy City tank top or do you want a tea spilling professional t-shirt for tonight? Which one would you like? Pick either a Liddy City tank top or the tea spilling professional t-shirts. DM me your size and your address. DM me your size and your address. Congrats to Storm Doris. Everybody say congrats to Storm. Congrats. Ooh, baby. Anyone know any good stuff for severe pain as opposed to opioids? CBD is really good. Tea spilling professional. All right. DM me your address and what size you want, Storm Doris, and I will get it sent out to you this week. You want a t-shirt? The t-shirts are coming, guys. They're on sale November 18th. Tea Spilling Professional, Liddy City, Zack Pack Official, No Filter Cap, all of it. Congratulations, Storm. Everybody, a toast to Storm Doris tonight. And thank you guys for joining me tonight for book club. If you haven't done so yet, order your copy of Not All Diamonds and Rosé. We'll be back next Tuesday. We'll be breaking down Real Housewives of New Jersey in part 4. And then the following week for part 5, we'll be breaking down Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then we'll start combining some of the parts because they're a little shorter. So stay tuned for Jersey next week, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. This week on the podcast, I've got Cindy Barshub from Real Housewives of New York. That episode drops Wednesday morning of this week. Oof, cortisol shots end up burning all the fat in your butt, though. So then you have nothing to protect your tailbone. But yes, we have Cindy Barshub from Real Housewives of New York, and she's actually very unfiltered in her interview this week. So that drops on Wednesday. We'll go live again Thursday night, as we always do. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday. Book clubs are on Tuesday. Look forward to your live, Zack. I'm so anxious this week. Thank you for being you. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you're anxious, but I'm glad that you're enjoying the lives. I may do an after party. It's 7:30. I have to hop on a call with Adam from Up and Adam. I'm not supposed to say that, but we have a business call that we have to take after this. So please enjoy your evening. I may pop in about like 20 minutes when I'm cooking dinner, or maybe 30 minutes while I'm cooking dinner after my call tonight. In which we will be able to dish. Yes, I will tell you on Storm Doors. Thank you guys for tuning in. Grab your copy if you haven't done so yet. If you want to support the podcast, I do have an Amazon affiliate link that I can send you if you want to shop from Amazon and support the show. And if you want to get some No Filter wine, go to nofilterwine.com and get some Who Gon' Check Me, Boo. Who gon' check me, boo? All right. Love you guys. Mean it. Talk to you soon. Ciao for now.